following on from this, we've got Piers Morgan, who has
Hey!
left Good Morning Britain.
Yeeted
So
off.
what happened? So what happened? He just stormed off during like.
He came back,
Oh,
didn't he? He came back after a bit, didn't he? But then after that episode, he quit, I think. He resigned from it.
Yeah,
resigned.
Supposedly resigned anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, he said that Mark, this is absolutely awful, you having all these accusations against the royal family, because Piers Morgan is a loyalist to that. Like, you can't criticize the royal family because, like, you're British and that's not what you're meant to be doing. Okay. And he had a paddy and just stormed off, and the people in ITV were like, nah, just bye.
He'll be back though in some form.
Yeah. To be fair, I think it was a good thing that he stormed off because it gets more views. Well, a good thing for them anyway.
Yeah.
Because you have to think that show, like, without Piers Morgan, it's just, I don't know. It's not the same, is it? Like, it's not, like, Piers Morgan's a very controversial figure, isn't he? So they won't get the same amount of views without him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess in his eyes and in my eyes, from an outsider looking in, no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah.
So for those people that hate Piers Morgan, the best thing to do is just ignore him.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean? It's just do nothing. That's the best thing you can do.
Was it a Streisand effect?
Yeah, you talked about that last episode.
Yeah, you
that
did.
We had Denim on.
Yeah. Basically, people are more interested by the controversy than the actual substance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's so popular. Like, people, that's why people like love Fox News, despite most of it being a whole lot of shit, basically.
Yeah.
Well, it's just right-wing Republican propaganda.
Or our equivalent Daily Mail. I mean, or the Sun, because they said, our sales are down. This was right before lockdown, and it was also at the same time there was a shortage of toilet paper. So they missed.
Yeah.
They missed that bit of marketing. Said, "Oh, no toilet paper, just buy the Sun."
Yeah.
Bit of a cheap shot, but
Smart advertising.
Yeah, but yeah.
Do we think that? Sorry, I was going to say back to Piers Morgan anyway. But do we think he actually resigned or they got rid of him?
By resign, do you mean out of his own free will?
Yeah.
I think he resigned because I think they would have kept him purely because he just prints money, doesn't
he?
Yeah. But it's a bit weird that that's the thing that made him leave after everything else he's like said and got backlash over. Like, that's the thing he leaves.
Are you trying to imply that they were going to fire him and he took it and he would be an opportunistic bugger? So all this as an opening to leave.
Maybe, because I don't know. Like, there's tons of stuff he said in the past that, like, can you remember that petition that came out about him to get him fired for his stance on gender? Like, that to me is worse than the backlash he got for the Meghan Markle comments.
Yeah, I think the only thing I can compare it to is when Jeremy Clarkson was fired from Top Gear.
Yeah.
After all that shit, and he ends up getting fired for punching a producer.
Wasn't it the straw that broke the camel's back though? Because they were looking for a reason to get rid of him anyway. He pissed so many people off. So it's like, okay, and then there's something big that happened. It's like, right.
Maybe. But in that situation, the only person that won was Jeremy and the others because they just went off, they just fucked off to Amazon and got paid bucket loads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think potentially the same thing will happen to Piers because someone will take him up and offer him a load of cash.
Or if we're going to talk about Piers Morgan, we shouldn't forget News of the World and the phone hacking scandal.
Yes.
If we're going to talk about bad things that Piers Morgan has done.
He has done very bad things. When you hack the phones of dead soldiers and dead girls,
Yeah.
it's amazing to me how people just forget that. They just
Yeah.
It's really sad and quite damning, isn't it?
Yeah. Considering all the stuff he's like said about COVID and Brexit and stuff like that, like he said, "Oh, I'm going to vote Conservative just because, like, even though I don't agree with Brexit, I'm going to vote for him anyway because everybody else did." So I was like, well, how do you go from that to like what you did back in News of the World? It doesn't. Like, is there a bit of a fake persona there?
It's bound to be, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think when you work the kind of jobs that he's done, I don't think even he knows like his own political compass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so twisted and warped that it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
It sort of crumbled when Greg started to do vegan sausage rolls. Oh, how dare other people have their own dietary preferences, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But they end up selling out. So obviously people wanted it. It's just Piers Morgan himself personally didn't like it, and he became a snowflake about it.
Yeah, which is the ironic thing. The thing is, we seem to live in this post-truth era where truth, in the dictionary definition sense, doesn't seem to exist anymore. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone weaves their own narrative. Truth doesn't exist. It's like, whose truth? Which truth? Would you even know the truth if you heard it? And I think to a certain extent that's always been the case. But it just seems like in the past, I don't know, 5 years, people have become conscious of it.
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah. With like fake news and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Which is, it's funny, but there is kind of like a sort of pathos to it in that people will believe what they want to believe, regardless of facts. Do you know what I mean?